Are you on a faster internet network? That's great, but there are many people around who are on a slower network. They may not be able to afford a faster network, or the network system is like that in their neighborhood. Now, as a developer, when you are developing an application, you have to make sure that your application not only works well on the faster network but also on the networks which are comparatively slow. Hey, this is Tapas. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to learn about some tips and tricks around JavaScript that will make sure the application that you develop is going to render perfectly on the slower network as well. We are going to learn about how to load script on your HTML page perfectly. There are various ways of doing that, but we are going to learn what is the most perfect way of doing that. Before we get started, as usual, if you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and subscribe because I keep sharing a lot of great content on this channel. And thank you very much if you have already subscribed. Okay, without any further delay, let's get started. As we are going to learn about loading the script for an app, I thought why not making a small app and demonstrate the fact. Okay, so I have a small app that I'm showing on the screen right now. It's called Secret Santa game. So if you know about Secret Santa, it's something like, you have Santa and you have child and you have a gift that Santa gives to a child, and what this application does basically randomly picks up a gift, randomly picks up a Santa name and the child name. It's very simple app, and I have only limited set of data, so you might see like the gift or the Santa name or the child name may get repeated. So it happens when I click on play. So if you see, this is the gift that Alex is going to give to Dell, Bob is going to give to Carl. So things like that, it keeps changing. It's a very simple game. Now what we're going to do is like we're now going to deep dive into the code and then see like how things works under the hood and how am I going to work with the HTML and the script and what is the best way of utilizing the script that is bringing this dynamicism, right? This name, this image, all these things together. Okay, so let's see that. So let's take a look in the code, like how does the code structure look like. So what we have an index.html file where we have a couple of scripts that we are actually importing over here. And then we have the HTML structure where there is a header, there is a content, and there is a P for the gift paragraph. There is a paragraph for Santa, there is a paragraph for child, and there is a button for play, and below there is a footer where we are showing that copyright information. As you see that most of the information are not here, that means it's getting added dynamically. So this must be coming from any of the script. So let's go to the script one. Yeah, in the script one, what we do is basically we have this array of gifts, then we have array of participants. We get the random element, whether the random array or a random participant or random gift, and then we add to each of those DOM element as a text, or we create a new image element, add to the gift element so that everything gets created. So basically what we do over here is whenever you have this init function gets invoked, we get a new participants randomly from here. You get a new gift from here randomly. The participant we make as either Santa or child. We get a gift and we add those information to the DOM that we have created already over here. And as you see, like when somebody click on the play button, we are again calling this init function. So it means that again same thing is going to happen. A new Santa, new child, and new image, gift image will be coming up. So that's about the script one. What does script 2 does here? Script 2, okay, so script 2 add item to the footer. It adds the copyright, the current year, and some text over here. This is just for the purpose that we are adding from another script something into the DOM element. We will see like how it is going to be useful. And script 3 is completely empty. At this point of time, think about it's a script which doesn't do any kind of DOM manipulation. Maybe it is going to get some kind of ads in your application, or it is running an analytics like Google Analytics, or it's kind of bringing some kind of chatbot into your application. Nothing that is doing anything with your DOM manipulation directly. Think about that kind of script, but for our example sake, let's keep it empty. So that's pretty much it. This is what the application is. Now next what we're going to do, we're going to run this application and let's see what happened. As you see, we have run this application now, but we don't get the details. We don't get that image. We don't get the Santa name. We don't get the child name. Rather, we get a few error in the console. We see like, cannot set properties of null, cannot set properties of null. It happens because we are actually importing this script over here in the head. So this means when our browser, the engine, will parse this HTML, what it will do is like it will hit this particular script tag over here, and it will try to download this script and then try to execute this script. And once it's download the script and try to execute the script, whatever inside that relevant script is going to run. So if you have noticed that inside the script one, we were actually trying to set something into the DOM, but at least at this point of time, the DOM has not been created because DOM is creating somewhere at the below at the body. So this particular div element, this particular p element, this particular footer element is creating only after this particular script is getting downloaded and executed. So when this script is getting downloaded and executed, the DOM was not ready, and that's the reason it is not able to find these properties in the DOM and is saying that it is null. So in this case, even if you after first time when you refresh, then only you will start getting it all the value, because now the DOM is getting created. Now you will be getting the value, but for the first time when it is getting loaded, you never had any chance. See, if I'm refreshing, you never had any chance to get any kind of values over there, right, from the first time. So this is a bug. Now the solution for this is possibly that many of us goes forward is like, hey, don't actually put this script into the head, rather put this script somewhere at the bottom, like at the end of the body, so that after the DOM creation is happening, then only we are actually downloading this script and we are executing this script. Fair enough. I think that is going to work for most of us. So let's see, like I'm going to cut this one and going to straight away put over here at the end of the body, and I'm going to refresh it. See, the moment I refresh it, now whatever time that I am going to refresh this one, it's going to bring the image, is going to bring Santa value, is going to bring child value without any error. If I am doing play also, things are going to work perfectly. So one of the definite solution is like when you have some kind of DOM interaction, you are not putting the script in the head because those will be downloaded and executed before. Rather, you are putting at the end of the body so that your DOM is created. Now the DOM manipulation can be done very perfectly by each of the script. There is no problem as such. But is it really so? Is it really that there is no problem? No, that's not the case. There is definitely a problem. That is the problem we are going to talk about. Now I'm going to show you a couple of things in the image so that you understand why this is a problem and why you must not do loading your script at the end of the body, and there are other better ways of handling this one. Let's take a look in this particular image. So what is happening over here, if you look into this legends, like the yellow one is when we say this download the HTML and building the DOM. This blue color is like download the script, and this reddish color is like execute the script, right? Now this is a case where you put the script tag in the header. So what happened, your HTML start getting downloaded, maybe some amount of DOM is getting built, then suddenly it encounters there is a script tag. So the moment it encounters there is a script tag, is going to download the script, and once the download is happening, is going to execute the script immediately. Now in this duration, when the download and the execution of the script is happening, this building DOM and downloading the rest of your HTML is completely paused. So it means that in this part, if the script has to manipulate any part of the HTML, it is not available to it. So script is going to fail. Script is not going to work. And then once the script execution is done, with the failure, the rest of the DOM building, rest of the HTML download keeps happening. This is when you put the script tag at the top in the header. So this is something that is not going to work out for us, that we understood, right? And it is not going to work out for us only when your script is having some amount of DOM manipulation and your DOM is not yet created. Okay, now the second thing that we have seen, where the script tag is end of the body. So in this case, what is happening? Things are working, but you think about this case, like your HTML is completely, your DOM is completely getting built, and then at the end of it, your download is happening, the script download is happening, and when the script download is finished, then only your script execution is happening. This works, but where is the problem? The problem is here that your HTML is ready and it is rendered on the screen, but HTML is having some kind of dynamic data which is supposed to come from the script. Now the script is say very heavy, for example, say it is like some MBs, some kind of the script is. Now your HTML has to really wait for the script download to happen. and once the download happens, then the script to execute it. Once this execution has happened, then only your all the dynamicism in the HTML file comes into picture. So you basically, though your HTML gets loaded over here, but you have to really wait till here for your HTML to come live with data. Isn't that a problem? And how to solve that? So we are going to see like how to solve that in terms of importing the script and with the help of couple of attributes. So let's do that. Now let us learn about an HTML attribute called async. So this particular attribute goes with the script tag, and this is very useful in some conditions, right? So let us understand like in what circumstances async will be really useful. So async attribute means the scripts will be independent to each other. Okay, so one of the advantage is like when browser sees this async keyword along with script, it is really not going to block, right, all this rest of this HTML execution, DOM creation and things like that, because of the fact that script is getting downloaded. So the script will be downloaded asynchronously, and as and when it is getting downloaded, it will be executed immediately. Okay, so I'll repeat this. When browser sees the async keyword or async attribute with script, it will download the script asynchronously without blocking rest of the HTML. But one important factor is like the moment the script is downloaded asynchronously, in that moment only the script is going to be executed. Okay, so this is how the async works. Now let's see in the image first about the async, and then we'll come back to this application so that we understand and we comprehend like what exactly the difference. Okay, so here is the image where we have seen these two facts already, and this is the async, a script with async. So as you're saying that when your HTML is getting downloaded and this point of time it in browser encountered there is a script tag with the async keyword, it will start downloading in parallel asynchronously along with your rest of the HTML is getting ready. But once the download gets over, it will start the execution immediately. Whenever the execution starts, that time the HTML preparation, the DOM preparation will be paused. And then once the execution is over, the DOM preparation will continue. So if you take a difference between this and this, in this case, you were waiting for both download and the execution, and then you get back to your HTML and the DOM creation part. In this case, you're saving on the download time. Even if you have a bigger script to download, you are actually saving on it because it is happening in parallel. But on the execution part, of course, the HTML construction, the DOM construction has to wait. That you cannot save, but you're definitely saving on the download time. Is it useful? In my opinion, this is useful, definitely useful from this and this, definitely useful from this, but it has a hit still. What is the hit? What if this script as well has some kind of DOM manipulation, and the DOM manipulation, the DOM that it is looking for, it is not in this region, rather it is in this region. If the DOM that it is going to manipulate, DOM that is going to update, if it is in this region, when the execution is happening, the DOM has already been constructed. But if it is in this region, when the execution is happening, the DOM is still not in its visibility. So it will be the same problem as this, right? Let's see that with our example, and then we'll say like why it is still can be used, why async still can be used, and what are the circumstances where we can actually use this. So we are back to our application. Do you see any difference? Now we are running it with async. I see a difference, the difference being there is no copyright that we used to see before. We used to have a copyright over here, but this copyright is not there. Why this copyright is not there? Because the copyright is coming from a script which gets downloaded much faster, because the tiny script, it is getting downloaded much before this particular DOM is getting created. But the script one, which is having this image manipulation, this name manipulation, that is a heavier script. I made this script heavier with some kind of junk character. You can see that if I go over here and just open this JS and open script one, you see this script is so big now because I have keep some junk characters, some junk values, so that the script become very heavy. But at the same time, script 2 is very lightweight, right? It's in some kbs or some bytes maybe. So the script 2 getting downloaded asynchronously very fast, getting executed immediately. But when it is getting executed, our HTML is not completely ready, because what I have done in HTML also, I have kind of bloated it with lot of characters, so that HTML is also kind of heavier than script 2, but it is lesser than script 1 in size. So what happens, script 2 first getting downloaded, executed. By that time a portion of index.html is not ready, so it is not able to get the DOM value of this one, script 2, so it is failing over here. But the script 1 is taking longer time than index.html. So by the time script 1 is downloaded and about to get executed, index.html is ready. So all these things are working. Let's see a demo of it so that we believe that what we are talking about, it's correct. So if I'm over here, so first thing I'm going to console, and if I'm going to console, I'll get an error for see cannot set property of null add to footer. This is the case, script 2, because script 2 has already downloaded. As it is a lightweight, by the time that particular DOM was not ready because it is at the down, but there is no error from the script 1. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the network tab, and I have done disable cache. It means every time I refresh, nothing will be loaded from the cache, and I have changed my networking to fast 3G. I am not going to my hi-fi 5G network now. I am going to my fast 3G, and if I am refresh, I want you to kind of see this portion well, like what happened. It is going to take some time. So I am refreshing. You're saying things are getting downloaded in parallel. Is getting downloaded in parallel. Script 2 will be downloaded and script 2 will be executed first. So you see script 2 at the top, then script 3, these two are done. Script 2 is seeing still going on. Now everything will be done, and after that this will be populated, but script 2, as it is already been executed, we won't be seeing any value for it on the screen. So values are coming. As you're seeing, that image is rendering very slow because it's in the 3G network simulation. This is how some of your users, some of your customers will be seeing. Okay, so you have to kind of take care of things. So as you see this, everything is over, but you don't see the copyright thing is there. So if we go back to the image that we just now seen, so that you can actually correlate them. So this is the image. So what happened here, this is where script 2 is done, but for script 2 to manipulate the DOM, that is over here. So that portion won't be done. Now let's say that the thing that we had to do as part of script 1 is already executing later point of time. By the time the HTML is already there, the DOM is already constructed, so that will work. So this is with async. Then why and when to use async if this is a problem? Async should be used only when your script doesn't have anything to do with the DOM. You remember our script 3 we spoke? In our script 3, we try to simulate that it has nothing to do with the DOM. Rather, it is probably bringing some kind of ads from outside. It is doing some kind of analytics, maybe Google Analytics, or it is bringing a chat bot. So there is no DOM manipulation. There is no interaction with your HTML at all. And you want to kind of download this one, in parallel with how when your application is coming up, when your HTML is getting bootstrap, on that particular time you want to download an external script in parallel. That is when for that external script, please use async. Don't use async for the script which are going to manipulate your DOM. So what to use? That's why we'll be now looking into another attribute called defer, and that is going to solve the problem. So let's going to look into the defer attribute. Now the same application, but instead of using the async attribute, I am using the defer attribute, and I see that application is working perfectly. It is having this image, having the Santa child, it has the copyright, right? And if I play, it is going to change things. So this is working as expected. Now why it is working as expected, and what exactly this defer is differing from async, right? So let's get back to our image once again so that we see the difference. Now we have seen these three, and this is the last one, the defer. So in case of defer, the things are almost similar to async. It means that it is going to download your script asynchronously in parallel with your HTML. So browser is never ever going to block whenever it is going to see the script tag, in the head or in anywhere in your HTML. It is not going to block. It will start the download immediately. But there is a difference. The difference is that when the download is done, it is not going to execute the downloaded script immediately. Okay, so when it is going to execute, it is going to execute only when your DOM is completely loaded. So this is the biggest advantage for the script which will manipulate the DOM against the async. In case of async, the execution happen immediately without bothering about whether the DOM is loaded or not. In this case, defer case, it will actually wait till the DOM is getting loaded and then only it will execute the script. But the downloading of the script will always happen like async. It will happen in parallel. So here you save a great amount of time while downloading the script against these two philosophies. But the problem that we might encounter over here for the script which manipulate the DOM, that you save because the execution happen at the end. So the thumb rule is, for any of the script that manipulates the DOM, if it's an external script, or you're actually importing the script, you make sure that you're using defer. If any of the script that doesn't manipulate the DOM, it is rather an external script doing some external job like chatbot, add, things like that, make sure you use async, and always use the script tag in the header, basically the head, not the header, it's the head tag, and never ever use the script tag in the body. Okay, so these are the learning that you need to really understand when you are using the script tag. These are the thumb rule that you need to understand when you are using this script tag. Now I will end by saying a couple of differences between async and defer so that you understand. In case of async, again, the execution happens immediately. Both are same in terms of downloading. They download the script in parallel. In case of defer, the execution will be deferred until the DOM is completely getting loaded. Okay, this is the correct thing. Now if you have multiple script like script 1, script 2, script 3, defer actually goes by the order of the script that is defined. Like it will execute the script, it will download the script 1 first, then script 2, then script 3, and then accordingly it is going to execute. But in case of async, there is no such order of execution. Whatever is loaded first, if your script 2 is lightweight and it is downloaded first, then script 2 will be executed first, then comes script 3, then comes script 1, like that. So in the order that is getting downloaded, so the size matters in case of async. Whatever is probably the least amount of size, that will getting downloaded first and that will be immediately executed first. So this is what you have to remember. This is the basic difference. And the thumb rule, again, before we end, the thumb rule is very, very important. If you are using script tag to create an external script, you have to make sure that you are always putting your script inside the header, never ever inside the body, because you are actually having a performance problem over there. And then once you are thinking like you'll be putting inside the header, use async only for the external script that is not going to manipulate your DOM. Use defer for rest of the scripts that are going to manipulate the DOM. I hope it makes sense and you will be using it properly. All the code that we have used in this application that you've showed today is there in the comment section of the video. Just go ahead and start experimenting with them. Run the application in the disable cache and the 3G mode as I have shown in the video, so that you also can get a feeler like what it is. Look into this image again and again so that you can identify what is the difference. I hope you found it useful. So was it useful? Okay, if you find it useful, please make sure that you like and share this video in your circle so that others also find it useful. And please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because I keep sharing a lot of good stuff over here. Very soon, see you with the next video. By the way, before I move on, this is the last video of year 2022. 2023, I'm coming up with a bigger plan. I'll be communicating that in the first week of January. Stay tuned to that. Alright, take a great care. Happy New Year in advance and enjoy your vacations. Thanks.